Jackson. Oh, a fumble into the end zone and covered by McNeil.
Well, hello. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to check out this video, and welcome to the Gridiron. And before we get started, I just want to say thank you so much to everyone out there who's been watching my videos. Thank you. If you give this video maybe a thumbs up, or maybe leave a comment below, or possibly share this video, it would mean so much to me. But anyway, thank you so much for just taking time out of your day to check out this video. Thank you. I saw an article, and I'm starting to lean this way a little bit here. I'll leave a link in the box below. You can check it out if you like. It says, the article, Giants Joe Judge is the next Matt Patricia. Another failed Bill Belichick disciple. Boy, there's been quite a few of them over the years. Now, between Bill Belichick coaching for the Browns and the Patriots, all right, he's had 10 assistants, okay, become NFL head coaches, all right, and out of those 10, only one of them has won a playoff game. He won 2. I'll get to that guy in a little bit here, but so out of all 10 of these coaches, all right, they've won a grand total 2 playoff games. And the one guy won. He only won. He went multiple times to the playoffs. It just that he didn't get like 2 wins and then make it to the championship game or something. I mean, it was like one and then done. So I mean, you know, some coaches just start. I mean, like Bill Walsh from the 49ers produced some winners. Okay. Got Bill Parcells, all right? Bill Belichick was underneath him. Tom Coughlin coached underneath him, okay? You know, so I mean, you know, certain guys put out some winners, and other guys, for whatever reason is, who knows. One of the guys, you know, I'm going to go over the 10 guys, okay? The first guy, you know, was on this list. He was Romeo Cornell. All right, now he coached in 7 different seasons, okay, with the Browns, the Chiefs, and the Texans. One of the years he only coached a few. He was like the coach for just a few games, you know, so he didn't coach he was the interim coach. He didn't coach the whole season, all right? But he coached in 7 different seasons with the 3 different teams. He went 32 and 63. Didn't make the playoffs. Okay. He even coached under Bill Parcells 2 times. All right. So, you know, he has a little Bill Parcells flavor in there too. He coached when Bill Parcells was the coach of the Giants. Romeo Cornell was under him from 1983 to 1990. Okay. But then he was an assistant when Bill Parcells was the defensive coordinator at Texas Tech in 75 through 77. Romeo Cornell was Bill Parcells' assistant. So he was under Bill Parcells 2 different times, once in the pros, once in the college, okay? But basically, you know, Romeo Cornell, you know, 32 and 63, his winning percentage was .337. I mean, he's a good assistant head coach, players coach and all that and everything. Guys love to play for him and everything, but just can't get it done with it as far as a head coach. The next guy is Al Groh. Okay, Al Groh actually has a winning record. All right, he only coached 1 season. Al Groh once again also coached underneath Bill Parcells. He was the linebackers coach for the Giants from 1989 and 1990, and Al Groh, got to give him a lot of credit. He actually helped Lawrence Taylor out quite a bit because Lawrence Taylor came into the league in 1981. And when you give your all what Lawrence Taylor did on the field, okay, as the years go by, you just start wearing down. So by the time 89 and 90, you know, the championship, when the Giants won the Super Bowl in 1990, you know, you don't play as well as you did when you just came out of college. You know what I mean? So by the time 1990 rolled around, that was his 10th season, you know. So Al Groh was watching film on Lawrence Taylor, and he went up to Lawrence and he said, I've been watching some film on you. I noticed that there's been guys who can block you now who 3, 4, 5 years ago couldn't block you. I mean, because nobody could block him, back in like 86 when he won the MVP and all that and everything. But he was starting to notice, he's maybe slowing down a little bit, he's being able to be blocked now, And Al Groh said, I can make you a real good edge rusher if you want, or I can make you a real good all-around linebacker. What do you want? And Lawrence Taylor said, I want to be the best linebacker I can be. So Al Groh helped him, become just not so much the pass rusher, but also refining everything, maybe dropping in coverage, the run defense, rushing the quarterback and all that and everything. Because I mean, when Lawrence Taylor came out of college in 1981, he had a certain skill set. That skill set was not there anymore 10 years later. Even Tom Brady, maybe in about 50 years from now, he's going to retire. He won't be quite in about 50 years. He's like 95 years old. He won't be quite as good as he is now. You know what I mean? Everybody, starts, their talents start wearing away as time goes by, and that's what happened with Lawrence Taylor. But anyway, with Al Groh, he coached for the Jets in 2000. Right? He was 9-7. They just missed the playoffs, so he didn't make the playoffs. Okay. But after the one season, he went to go coach his alma mater at Virginia. All right, so I don't know why he had bigger aspirations of coaching in college than he did in the pros. I have no idea why. I mean, he was an NFL head coach. They were 9-7, but he went to Virginia. He was pretty much one and done. Okay, but he had no playoffs, but he actually had a winning record, all right, which is pretty rare for Belichick disciples. Okay, the next one we got Josh McDaniels. Now he's been with New England for a long time. From 2001, 2008, he was with New England. Then he came back in 2012 to 2021. All right, so he's been with the Patriots for a long, long time, okay? 2009 and 2010, he was the head coach of the Broncos. The first year, they were 8-8. Okay, so, respectable. His second season, all right, they were 3-9. Actually, by the time he got to the 12th game of the season, they just fired him. So he was 3-9. It was a sinking ship, and they just got rid of him. So he didn't make the playoffs in either one of his seasons. He was 11-17 his 2 years, and his winning percentage was .393. Okay, it was kind of comical in 2010 when he was 3-9, and things really rather embarrassing. He was rather embarrassing for him there. So that's another one of the reasons why possibly hasn't had a head coaching job since then. The next one we got is Eric Mangini. Now he actually meant to the playoffs. All right, one of the few. Now he coached the Jets from 2006 to 2008. Eric Mangini in 2006 they were 10-6. They went to the playoffs. I think they got knocked out by the Patriots. Go figure. 2007 Eric Mangini was 4-12, and then 2008. Well, they had a good, I think they were 7-3, something like that, and then they just kind of fell apart, and they wound up 9-7. They missed the playoffs, and they fired him. It's just so funny. You can actually have a winning record and actually get fired, but they fired him after the season was over with. And then the next season, okay, the Browns picked him up. In 2009, he was 5-11 with the Browns. In 2010, he was 5-11 with the Browns. Didn't go to playoffs and all. So all in all, those 5 years of coaching with Eric Mangini, okay, he actually had 2 winning seasons, but his overall record was 33-47, a winning percentage of .413. Okay, so he went to the playoffs, but no playoff wins. Then we got Nick Saban. Yes, that Nick Saban. Nick Saban coached under Bill Belichick in Cleveland. He was the defensive coordinator for Cleveland Browns in 1991 to 1994. All right, that's when Bill Belichick coached the Cleveland Browns from 91 to 95. Nick Saban became the head coach of Miami in 2005. Okay, 2005, the Dolphins were 9-7. Okay, 2006, they fell to 6-10. His record was 15-17. Right, he had a 469 winning percentage. He didn't go to the playoffs either year. After the 2006 season, he left the Dolphins to go coach Alabama because they had just let go of their coach, and they were looking for somebody, and for some reason they went after Saban. And even Saban's first year there, I think in 2007, they were 7-6. They were 6-6 going into the bowl game. They wound up winning the bowl game to be 7-6. So even in college, he didn't start off real well. But obviously, we know the rest is kind of history there. But he had a losing record in the pros. So I mean, it's sometimes a little bit different animal, Because in college you can kind of go and pick and choose, kind of maybe who you're going to get. I mean, all the 5-star recruits he gets to come. I mean, it's not like that in the pros. You know what I mean? You only get so many 5-star recruits because once your money's gone, you only get the 3- and 4-star recruits. So it's a little different animal in the pros. But so Nick Saban, no playoff appearances, had a losing record. Then we go to Jim Schwartz. Okay, he went to the playoffs. All right, he was the personnel. All right, he was of scouting. Okay, with the Browns, 93-95 when Bill Belichick was there. Okay, 2009. Okay, Bill Belichick from 2009 to 2013. Jim Schwartz was the head coach of the Detroit Lions. All right. Yeah, his record was 29-51. All right, but however, in 2011, all right, they were 10-6, but they lost in the first round of the playoffs. But he was 29-51, so Jim Schwartz had a winning percentage of .363. All right, then we got the only guy who won two playoff games. All right, out of all 10. All right, Bill O'Brien. He was with New England from 2007 to 2011. All right, and he was also with the Browns. 93-94. Okay, so he was with Bill Belichick 2 different times. Now, he coached the Texans from 2014 to 2020. He had 5 winning seasons. All right, he won the AFC South 4 times. He had a winning percentage, a winning record. He was 52-48. Okay, now he went to the playoffs 4 different times, and he was 2-4 in the playoffs. So he's the only one that went to the playoffs and won any playoff games at all. So you got Al Groh and Bill O'Brien are the only 2 that actually had winning records, right? Barely. Al Groh was 9-7, and Bill O'Brien was 52-48. But the only 2 out of the 8 that actually had winning records. Then we had Matt Patricia. He was with New England from 2004 to 2017. Right? Then after he got canned from Detroit. Now he's back with New England once again this year. Okay, but he was the head coach of the Lions from 2018 to 2020. His records: he was 6-10. He was 3-12-1, and then last year he was 4-7, and they fired him. So his combined record, was 13-29-1. He had a .314 winning percentage. All right, and of course he didn't make the playoffs at all. Then we got Brian Flores, the coach of the Dolphins. All right, he was with New England from 2008 to 2018. He's become that Miami Dolphins head coach, right, 2019 to 2021. 2019 they were 5-11. Then they started, things started coming together, and you can start seeing things, working out for the Dolphins. And last year they were 10-6. Just missed the playoffs, but they were 10-6. So that's why this year they had really high hope. I'm not saying they're looking to be 15-2 or nothing, but when you're 10-6, you're looking to want to be at least 10-6 once again. Well, this year they're 1-7. Okay, so his combined winning record is 16-24. He has a .400 winning percentage, and obviously, once again, he has no playoff appearances. He does have one winning season. No playoff appearances, and they're not making the playoffs this year either. So 1-7. The way things are kind of going, I'd be surprised if he makes it after this season's over with, because you go from 10-6 and now he's 1-7. It's kind of, things are just going down. I mean, it's like Patricia, Flores. Now we come to Joe Judge. Okay, Joe Judge, He's 8-16 in like a year and a half. So he's a .333 winning percentage. Once again, he has no playoff. Yeah, he's gone to the playoffs. Sure, they're not going to the playoffs this year. It's a lot of it's kind of like some of what they're talking about is his record is pretty much the same as like Matt Patricia. Now, when Joe Judge, he came in, and when he interviewed for the Giants job, he was, Gettleman and all, they were, because he always seems to have the right words, you know what I mean? But the one thing is that, I can't say when you're lying, but when as time goes on and you just keep saying the same things and the same negative things happen, after your words, your credentials start kind of going down and down and down, and that's what's starting to happen here. A lot of people are starting to cry bullshit on some of the stuff he's saying and doing and all that and everything. He came in and said, we're going to punch you in the mouth for 60 minutes. Each play has a life of its own. We're going to be, guys are going to know, the situationally aware and this and that. We're not going to beat ourselves and all that stuff. And pretty much that's all that's been going on. Guys are just undisciplined. Like this last week against the Chiefs. Just taking timeouts, not having any timeouts at all. Like in the last 2 minutes of a football game. The unsportsmanlike with Elijah Penny, unsportsmanlike. If he's, preaching, discipline. You're a year and a half in. Those penalties shouldn't be happening, right? You don't see that stuff from New England, right? You don't see that stuff with Bill Belichick. Certain teams, that stuff don't happen. Okay, guys, jumping off sides. The X-Man jumping off sides, denying or Darnay Holmes an interception, which might have changed the game. Dexter Lawrence, even though he wasn't offside, jumped. Refs throw the flag. Give them another field goal try. They win the game. Just a lot of penalties, undisciplined. The special teams should be better. Pro Football Focus, right? They're grading out really bad in Pro Football Focus. Now, he's coming from special teams. You think their special teams would be, pretty special. Well, they're not. Throwing a challenge flag, after a scoring play. Just to get the ref's attention. Are you serious? You don't know this stuff. What is wrong with you? Headphones. Blaming the headphones. He said, we might have to start going to hand signals. We've had problems with the headphones every game. Well, what are you waiting for? If you've had problems with the headphones, you got to figure this stuff out. Okay, next time we have a problem with the headphones, we're going to signals, all right? So, if you can't hear me or something, you look, every play, you're looking at me, because if we got problems with the headphones, we're putting signals in, all right? So we're going to let you know what's going on. We're not burning timeouts, okay, when we could use them at the end of the half or at the end of the game. We're not burning timeouts, all right, for a headset, especially if it's going on every game. Then the NFL is kind of calling, saying bullshit, on his complaints about headset. Because, it's happened every game, and you're halfway through the season, you're bringing this up. I've never heard one person say, man, that's a well-coached team. Or never. Or, well, that's a well-disciplined team. Or, man, they use those timeouts really well. Or, I've never heard nothing at all. One time said that about a Joe Judge coach team. Never. Never at all. And you figure, the way he talks, the way he handles the press, and all, he always has a saying or a phrase to use or something, or he always comes up, he always looks you right in the eyes, serious, all that and everything, and always just, whatever you got, boom, doesn't stutter, doesn't this, doesn't look, he always like right in the eye, he always just comes right out. He has no problem spewing it out. But the problem is, as time goes by, more and more spewing out is more and more BS. And it's like more and more we're becoming a big joke. And I could look all these shows I keep looking at, like the Rich Eisen show and other shows, and they're all just making fun of Joe Judge. And unfortunately, once you start spewing some BS, as time goes on, you start spewing more and more BS. It starts catching up to you, and if you can't win football games, it doesn't matter what you say. I mean, your time is limited, and I mean, it's just an absolute joke. I mean, it's like every week there's always something. There's always another. We beat New Orleans, okay. Then we have 2 games. We get killed by the Cowboys and the Rams. All right. Then we win another big game against Carolina. Make them look good. And then we go on the road Monday night. And the game was ripe for the taking. And just one mistake, one stupid penalty, one stupid timeout called after the other, and you wind up blowing us. I mean, we were 6-10 last year. We're 2-6 this year, and it certainly doesn't look like it's ever going to get any better. Until maybe, as finally as what this article says, I'll leave a link in the description box. Just like Matt Patricia. The Lions said bye-bye to Matt Patricia. Well, at the end of the season, John Mara and the Giants might say bye-bye to Joe Judge. Well, as always, guys, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to check out this video. You guys stay safe out there and go Giants. Woo!